let's start off the Flair section with glassware, because when we go to create a drink, the first thing we need is a glass. One of the moves that I like to use a lot is the hand spin. We use it with shaker tins and bottles and glasses alike, but with the hand spin, we start off with the glass on our hand, on the high point of our hand. What you need to do is practice stretching your fingers out so you can get to the high point of your hand, right here underneath your index finger. We then hold onto the glass with our other fingers spread apart, just above the center of the glass. Now if we bring that into our belt and swing it out, we use our index finger to push the glass around as it swivels around on that high point of our hand. Here we go, the hand spin. When you get comfortable with the one hand, try the other. Once you learn to do it a lot, you'll be doing it with ketchup bottles and absolutely everything you touch. Okay, moving on. The flat catch beside the head. This looks like we're catching it right behind our head, but in fact what we're doing is putting our hand here in front of our face where we can see it. We don't like throwing glasses at our face, so it's off to the side of my face. I see the glass. I watch the glass as it goes to my hand. Boom. Bring it all the way around. Okay? As the glass hits my hand carries the movement around my head. Okay? Now from there, we can go on to a catch behind the back. With a catch behind the back, we simply practice by throwing the glass up and catching it on our shoulder, just like this. And then when you're ready, you take your hand and put it like a shark's fin over top of your back pocket so your thumb's right in by your belt. You kind of have to hang onto your belt at first. Keep your hand open, and the palm of your hand has to remain facing up. You throw the glass up, crosses the shoulder. As it gets to the shoulder, we're going to tuck it in and drop the glass behind our back. Just like that. Here we go. We'll try it again. It goes up to my shoulder, and I twist, turning my shoulder in and catching it behind my back. This leads to a natural progression of throwing from behind our back. To throw from behind our back, I like to use my two fingers on the side of the glass so I can throw it up. Now I'm bringing it up just underneath my shoulder blade is where I'm going to let go of the glass. As I throw it up and catch it in my other hand. Up and catch. Up and catch in that hand, or up and catch in the same hand, which opens up another world of possibilities for you. Okay, so let's put the four together. There's a hand spin, catch beside the head, catch behind the back, and then a throw from behind the back. Here's a two-glass move that is quite a lot more difficult, takes a lot more practice, okay? But two glasses in one hand, I'm squeezing them together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw them both up in the air. I'm going to catch the inside glass with the same hand that I throw with. I'm going to catch the glass on the outside behind my back. Okay, here's how it looks. You squeeze them together and throw them high enough in the air that you can see the second glass behind your back, and bring it around and serve them up. Okay, try it again. And up, behind the back. And start scooping the ice. Ice cubes. There's a whole lot of fun we can have behind the bar just using ice cubes and the scoop. We'll start with a glass, mouth down, and we can scoop the ice into the glass, swing it all the way around, just like that. We'll try it again. We can scoop the ice into the glass, swing it around. You can end on your shoulder and put it on the bar, or you can just end right on the bar. To take it a little further, we can grab one cube and throw it up into the glass. Try one more. Cube, snapping it behind your back as it goes up and into the glass. More fun we can have is scooping the ice. You take just one cube here, we'll throw it up in the air, and if I start with my glass just on my shoulder here, and I extend my arm straight out and down, I'm actually making a very good circle here. If I throw the ice cube up and it crosses the line of that circle, and scoop it down. Another fun way of bringing down your props from the bar is using the scoop. Instead of grabbing a shaker tin with your hand, you can grab the shaker tin with your scoop and catching it behind your back. Great way of starting. Just like that. They're ice cubes. Low risk, high impact, because your guests are still seeing a show. Here's 4 different ways to get a garnish into a glass. First way, we can squeeze the garnish, hold the glass, and just throw the garnish underneath your forearm. Okay, so we throw it up, and position the glass underneath it as it comes down, drop it in the glass. Number 2, squeeze it, we throw it behind our back this time. So this time we're going to use our piece grip, where we've got our fingers up here, piece, just like that. And we're going to bring it around behind our back. We're going to snap it up behind our back and catch it inside the glass. Here we go. Watch as it goes around. Here we go with number 3. We can squeeze it, same piece grip, and we're going to flick it over our shoulder this time. We're going to raise our arm, raise our elbow up, and snap the lemon over top of our shoulder. Just like that. Now, if we remember the scoop that we did with the ice cube, now we can do it with a garnish as well. We'll squeeze it, scoop it, and just bring it around and pouring it into the drink like that. A fun way to make up a drop, if you happen to be throwing a garnish and you miss it, your audience will look at you and they'll kind of laugh. Try it again this time. If you miss it a second time, it's a fun way to get out of it. You look at your audience, look up in the air, you squeeze it, you get ready for the really big throw, and you play it up, and you drop it in the glass. It's a great way of covering up a couple of drops, because by the time you've gone all the way through it, your audience thinks that you were setting them up for the great punchline. Here's a couple of great ways just to pour your juice. We can catch a flat beside our head and go for the pour. We can also go for the sex pour, where we catch beside the head and lean in for the pour. You gotta look up. That's where the name is sex pour came. Shaker tins. Shaker tins are great to train with and to use in competition as well, because if you drop them, they're not going to break on you. They are a little embarrassing when they clink around after dropping them. But anyway, here's a lot of fun we can have with shaker tins. The scoop. We can use them to scoop ice into a glass. We can also practice our stalls. With a stall, we want to get our hand out nice and flat. We have to throw the shaker tin up. Throws into one rotation underneath. What we want to do is we want to watch the bottom of the tin as it comes around. We want to scoop our hand underneath, nice and soft, just like that. Okay, up and down. All right. Another move we can do is to throw it over our shoulder, but first we have to get the tin into the piece grip. So to do that, if we just flip the tin up a little bit, from the stall, we just snap it up into our piece grip, just like that. From the stall into the piece grip, so now we can go behind the back or over the shoulder. Same piece grip as we did with the garnishes. Elbow up, tin goes over the shoulder. You can catch it with your other hand or the same hand. Watch for the extra rotation of the tin so that it comes into your hand. And let the tin do the work for you. Now we have an option of grabbing another shaker tin and throwing it up here into this nest, or when we throw it over the shoulder, we can grab this shaker tin and throw it into a nest. To catch a nest, it's very similar to catching a stall. When we caught the stall, we watched as the bottom of the shaker tin came up, and we caught it. We're doing the same thing with the nest, and we're catching the other shaker tin underneath it, throwing it up, catch it again into a nest. Back, and over the shoulder. So there's all kinds of fun we can have with shaker tins, and combining all the other moves that we know. You can start making up your own sequences. Have fun practicing with your shaker tins as well. Now let's talk about pours. Pours are very important because we do have to get the liquid from the bottle. I'm going to demonstrate the pours first with the Flair bottle, and then I'll go through it again with glass and liquid. Okay? The first pour, well, we all know the standard pour, but if we extend the standard pour up and get our pinky finger around the bottle, it goes up into this pour. This pour where we can actually see the liquid flowing down, we can keep our eye on it. So if we're looking at the pour, the guest will be looking at the pour. There's our first pour. Now we have to think about the reverse grip pour. Very important, this whole series is going to be centered around this reverse grip, which really opens up the door for all the different moves that we're going to be doing later on in the series. The reverse grip has our baby finger at the top of the bottle, elbow in the air. Here's a reverse grip, pour. And then cut out of that. Into a pour. So we can standard grip to a reverse grip into a pour. Going from the reverse grip pour, we take the shaker tin, throw it over just like that. We start with the shaker tin in a standard grip, swing it out. So we've got this pour, we're out. We bring the bottle up. This is the beginning of what used to be called the windshield wiper, where the shaker tin will come over top of the bottle and scoop up like that. It's a cross-arm pour. And this, of course, is the old-fashioned windshield wiper. This is across, where we keep an eye on the pour, and if we bring the shaker tin up towards our chin and out to the same arm that's holding on to it and swing it all around at once, I call this one the Vanna White. Like that. All right, now let's put them all together. It's a long pour when you add them all together, but you can use them individually for individual pours. Now let's talk about cuts. If we're going to execute the pours that we just talked about, we have to learn how to stop the flow of liquid by cutting the flow of liquid. So let's go through all those pours again and talk about how we're going to cut the flow of liquid. With the standard or extended pour, with our pinky in the back here, we're going to go up. And what we want to do here is we need to get the liquid that's pouring right now into the bottom of the bottle by rolling the bottle down and underneath. Very similar to wine service when we stop the flow of wine, okay? We want to stop the flow before the pour spout leaves the edge of the shaker tin. And around. Bringing the liquid down to the bottom of the bottle and cutting it. Nice, clean cut. Okay? The snap cut from the reverse grip when we're pouring it sideways here. We're going into a pour, and the snap cut has us stopping the pour at the top of the flow and bringing it down to our leg. Okay? So we're pouring and snapping it down. Okay? We want to stop the bottle on our leg though. Snapping it down. Okay? From there, we'll talk about the bounce cut. The bounce cut when we're pouring multiple drinks on the bar. We start the pour and we push the bottle down at the same time. We pull the bottle up, the liquid floats inside the bottle as we move it over. So it looks like we're pushing down. This is going to look a lot better with liquid, but this brings us into pushing it forward. When we're pouring from a reverse pour, or reverse grip, we have to push the bottle forward, nice and slow, keeping the pour spout over top of the glass that we're pouring from. Okay? Now if we do the cross arm pour, we have to use that bounce cut to get out of it as well. All right? So we bring it over, bounce it a bit, and bring it out. So let's try it with glass now. The standard pour, extended. We want to bring it around and stop it nice and clean like that. Okay. The snap cut from a reverse grip. We go up into the pour and we snap it down. Just like that. Okay. Stopping the bottle again at our leg. When we go for the bounce cut at the front, push forward to stop the flow of liquid right there. And last but not least, we talk about the cross arm pour again, where we take the bottle, the shaker tin goes over top as it pushes up, and we bounce out of that. Just like that. So if you're going to do all these fancy pours, we have to learn the fancy cuts. Practice with water at home before you start pouring booze at work. Now let's practice a sequence that involves half or three-quarter full bottles. We'll actually be demonstrating with the blue curacao so you can see the liquid as it's more than half full. But I'll demonstrate it with the Flairco bottles. We'll start with our standard grip as we pull it up and catch the bottle in a reverse grip. This allows us to swing the bottle over. Okay, there has to be a good swing out in order to keep the liquid in the bottom of the bottle. Now we push the neck of the bottle up a little bit with our hand and just push it up so we can bring our hand around and grab it. Here we go. Reverse grip, pull it out, catch it there. The next move in this sequence is called the half circle, where I'm going to throw the bottle up bring it around. When I throw the bottle up, what I need to do is I need to get my hand underneath the bottle as it floats in midair. Now when it's floating in midair, the liquid in the bottle is going to start moving towards this pour spout. And I need to push that liquid back in by pulling the bottle around at the top. Okay? So we throw it up and pull the bottle around. From there, I'm going to throw the bottle up into a stall. Up and catch your hand underneath it. So as I bring the bottle around, I'm just lifting it up and letting it float in the air as I swing my hand underneath it, cushion the bottle on top of my hand. Okay, we've talked about the flat beside the head, great sequence change, reverse grip. I'm going to go into a pour, stop my pour. Now because the bottle's half full, I have to swing the bottle around a little bit before I catch it behind my back and return it to the well. Okay, I'm going to pour it with the blue curacao now. I'm also going to add some cranberry juice so that I can actually finish a drink while I'm pouring a half full bottle. So here we go. Pulling it around into the stall, catching behind the neck, going up into the pour, nice forward, swinging around behind the back, and we're done. Now let's talk about bottles that just have a little bit of liquid in the bottom. Just 2 ounces or less in a bottle will allow us to flip the bottle upside down. So that point of the night where the bottle just has a little bit, now we can do a little bit more exhibition style flair and still apply it towards creating a drink. So we'll start off, I've got a little sequence planned here. I'm going to go into a pour, stop the pour, come under the arm, do a nest, and we're going to go again over the shoulder into a pour. Okay, so let's go through that. Coming up out of the well, I'm going to catch the bottle in a standard grip. I'm going to throw the bottle to the outside, so away from us, and it's going to do just one rotation around. And my hand, all my hand needs to do is throw to the outside and turn back underneath so the bottle will come around. Let the bottle do the work. You don't need to reach and grab at the bottle. So here it goes, both turning the hand, catching the bottle into a pour. From there, 1.5 to pour, stop the flow on the other side, come all the way around, big circle, all the way around, big circle into a standard catch, all the way around so we can catch it right here, boom. Now from the standard grip that we've caught it in here, we have to go to a reverse grip so that we can grab our piece grip and go around to nest the bottle behind our back. To nest the bottle, we've got our piece grip. We're going to slowly throw it up behind us. We don't want a lot of rotation. It has to go nice and smooth, nice and slow, so we can get underneath it with our shaker tin. Same move, piece grip. This time we're going over the shoulder into a pour. So we want to catch the bottle as it's going into a pour. Arm comes up, elbow comes up, and up. Watch for the neck as it comes around, catching it in your hand so we can catch that solid pour. Again, flicking the bottle, just like that. When you practice it, you can practice the timing of pour, nest, stall. So let's put the whole thing together. Standard grip, 1.5 to pour. Stop the pour, around, changing to the reverse grip, up, into the nest, grabbing the nest with the piece grip, around, into the pour. Now let's try it with liquid. There's my bottle with just 2 ounces in the bottom, 1.5 to pour. Stop underneath, catching the bottle, reverse grip, nest, and take the bottle out, finishing my pour. Flair that you can use behind the bar, any given shift. And that's it for Flairco's mixology and flair for the working bartender. Remember to take pride in your drinks and practice your low-risk, high-impact moves at home. On the next video, we're going to be discussing exhibition flair that you can do behind the bar, as well as show-stopping moves that will attract people to the bar. My name's Dean Serneels, and thanks for watching.